Welcome to another DL Boxing Podcast. I am your host, Coach D, along with my co-host, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, and Bad Chaz, where we talk about the sport you and I love, boxing. All right, guys. Well, welcome back, guys. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you, man? Great.
Oh, excited. This is an exciting episode for us all.
Yeah.
We have a special guest on board, all the way from Brisbane, Australia.
Wow.
Fighting out of the Zoom corner.
Yeah.
Weighing in at 175 pounds, the 6'4", left jab, Tom Wangsomnuk. How you doing, brother?
What's up, guys? I'm good. Happy to be here. Honored to be here, actually.
Awesome, man. I am so happy to have you, man. Always wanted you to, when I started this podcast, I always had you in mind to join us, man. So thank you for making it happen, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, brother Tom, tell us, tell our viewers, how you and I got acquainted.
So I was one of the admins on the DAZN Boxing Talk. So originally there was three of us, and we just been dropping articles and videos, and just trying to be something different. We grew our supporters quite a bit, and then I said, okay, let's get someone else in. So we auditioned a couple of guys, and brother Dan passed the audition. So he's been there for 6 years now.
Yeah,
we met.
Yeah, right. And I remember it was one of your postings or articles. I believe it was about Triple G, and we kind of had a little discussion. We kicked it off like that. And it's great, man. It was such an honor to join you guys at Danger Zone Boxing Talk, writing articles. For a few years, constantly. I remember my first article was about the up and coming American heavyweight prospect, Deontay Wilder, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's it. Man, it's a long time now, huh?
It's been a long time now. Yeah. Fantastic, man. So, brother Tom, tell us a little bit about your boxing experience, man.
Let me see. I started when I was like 9 years old, 10 years old. So I've always liked boxing. Like my family did Muay Thai back home and all that kind of stuff. And, I came to Australia when I was like, 8, 9 years old. I remember Dad was always talking about this guy, Ali guy. This Ali guy. I don't know who's this Ali guy. So I went down to the local video store. Mum gave me about $2, right? So and I hired the documentary, Ali's first documentary, aka Cassius Play.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Yeah. I think I shared it to brother Dan a few months ago. And the first, if you guys haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. The first minute or two, it was just him coming out like in the slow mo, just dancing. It was the fight against Cleveland Williams, and like he was just moving. It was just so beautiful to see. And I said, you know what? Yeah. And I was like, I'm booked. That was it. That was it for me. That was my boxing. That was how I started. So I started training and getting in the gyms and imitating Ali and all that kind of stuff. So
wow, man.
To this day, yeah, he's my idol. Yeah, he's my guy.
Yeah, awesome. So from there, you started off in the amateurs. Did you end up joining an Olympic team, brother?
I started amateurs and I went to Atlanta in '96, competed for Thailand, and so I got to the quarterfinals there. So I had I think in my amateur career I had about 65 amateur fights.
Wow. So
yeah, I was lucky enough to be to be blessed with speed and timing and my father was a fighter, so good DNA pass too. So yeah. It was an experience in the Olympics. The fighters that I fought there was so good. And I was just so happy to get a few wins under my belt.
Right, I could imagine it, and that's where you face all the styles, right? Everything, you're just fighting the best, that's out there, right?
Yep. Fought the Cubans, the Eastern Europeans. I actually never fought an American fighter. I may have probably lost. But no, so mostly Europeans and I fought one Cuban. I don't think he made it to the Olympics or anything, but he was. They were all good fighters.
Yeah, that's fantastic, brother Tom.
There's no ducking. There's no ducking the way they do in the pros and amateurs. You fight whoever.
Right. Exactly. All right, man. Our co-host here, we're going to ask you a couple questions, man. So if you don't mind, go ahead, guys.
Go for it, guys.
Hey, what's up, Tom? Rios here. Hey, I was just curious to know what style gave you the most problems? Was it timing, speed, or power?
A combination of all those things. But I think the ones that gave me the most trouble were like, the boxers, the stylists, because I see myself as a counter puncher too.
Okay.
So if I fight another counter puncher, I always got to go and try to find the fight rather than if I was fighting someone like that was aggressive and a swarmer, he just come to me and I could just pick him. You know what I mean? So like against counter puncher as well, I had to go and find that kind of, I had to go find the fight, because he's not coming to me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
It does.
A lot of chest moves and so forth and things like that. So, but that's okay. Yeah. Also, the hardest style is I never got used to fighting southpaws because I just hate that because I jab a lot. I use a lot of lead hand. Okay. So because of southpaws, their lead hand is like it's on my lead hand, so it's kind of like I got to go over their lead hand to lay them up my. So it's we step on each other's feet. So I hate southpaws. They should all be outlawed. If a fighter switches to southpaw in the ring, he's disqualified.
Yeah, those damn southpaws, man. Uh-huh. Awesome, man.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, good, brother. Any more questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Good question, Ryan. My question was from you going from amateurs to the Olympics. What was that transition like? Did you have to change anything in your training? Was it a little bit different? Can you elaborate on that, please?
It was when I was an amateur, it was more more specific. Like we would train like maybe four sessions a day. So, but like there'd be short sessions. There'd be 45-minute sessions where we just work on one thing at a time. So my regular day for doing amateurs was we'll go and do our road work in the morning, go back and rest, and our first session wouldn't start till about 8:30, 9:30 in the morning, and then it wouldn't be anything to like the way that they do in the pros, where you hit the bag and all that kind of stuff. We do that, but it's more like technique work with the partner. Like whatever you want to work on, you work with the partner, and you just drill it up, and then we rest. Then we do it again. It's just all drills. You pick one or two things, and we just drill it. And in the late evening, we either go to conditioning work or we go to sparring, and that was 4 or 5 times a week, and we rest 2 days. So it was easy because I was young. I can't imagine doing that now. If I do that now, I'll die.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The hardest part about transitioning to a pros is that you weren't spoon-fed your training routine. You had to make up your own.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So when we were amateurs, we had our coaches would write us a program. Okay, we did this, and this, and this. As a pro, you kind of get a rough idea of what you need to do, but no one's there to tell you what to do. It's kind of you're on your own a lot of times because there's one trainer for 20, 30 fighters as a pro. So it's a bit, it's different. Whereas when you're an amateur, there's a lot of assistant coaches and all the kind of stuff looking over you and all kind of stuff. So it's different. It's like primary school as opposed to high school.
Yeah, okay.
And just the hardness of the body of the professional fighters, because they're conditioned, they're seasoned. You hit them and you're like, oh shit, hit you for nothing.
Wow. Right.
So that's you notice the mental fortitude with a lot of professional fighters. It's a lot different than amateur fighters. They've just been there for a lot longer, and that was the hardest part for me. So, but I find that my style was more suited to the pro ranks. So it was good. I enjoyed it.
Awesome, brother Tom. Yeah, so are we at the tail end of our professional career, Tom?
What's that?
Are we at the tail end of our professional career, right?
Yeah. So I've had about 10 fights, 10 professional fights. I lost a couple, drawn a couple. So
beautiful. Yeah.
I haven't had the consistent training that I've had as an amateur as I was a pro, because family life get to you and kind of stuff. So, but I still dabble from time to time. I spar and train and stuff like that. So yeah,
that's beautiful. And I know you are spreading the knowledge as a trainer as well, right?
Yeah. So I've trained fighters, the way I see fights, and so I have a philosophy. So I fight myself just to prove that theory, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it does.
That's awesome, brother.
So I think as a trainer, I think you should always try to evolve. Like a lot of trainers that stick to their own ways. It's like, if my way doesn't, if you're not my way, you can leave the gym kind of thing. I'm not like that. So I'm always constantly evolving. So the way I'm training fighters now, as opposed to 10 years ago, is different.
Yeah.
So it's always about learning.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's awesome, brother Tom. Awesome, man. Well, we're glad we have you on, man, because we're gonna continue on with the agenda, man. If you don't mind chiming in here and there. Yeah. All right, brother Tom. So let's get going to the next part of our show, which is the fight recap. Well, guys, it was supposed to be Ladies' Night last weekend, but unfortunately, with the death of the Queen Elizabeth II, all sporting events were canceled or postponed. So the question I want to ask you guys, between Mayer versus Baumgartner and Shields versus Marshall, do any of them get any benefits from the delay? What do you think, Ryan? Rios?
You know what? As far as Mayer and Baumgartner, I really don't see who would have the advantage or disadvantage on that one. Yeah. But as far as Shields and Marshall, I just feel like whoever's closer to the venue is going to have the advantage, just for the fact that Shields is obviously an American, and she's going to have to travel and go back and forth. It might be a little roller coaster ride, but that's just how I see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just feel like if anybody has an advantage, it's going to be Marshall.
Right. Bad Chaz, any?
You know what? I probably agree with Rios on that one. Marshall, she's there. It's her home country, so she's got to. It wasn't a long trip for her. She doesn't have any fly time or anything. She's just kind of hanging out there. Just a little more time to train and just a little more preparation. I mean, continue what they were doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, brother Tom. I think Clarissa Shields was so dialed in, like Ryan Rios said last weekend, that maybe this delay might hurt her psyche a little bit. Or how do you see that, brother? Well,
I think if you have to travel anywhere, I think you have to acclimatize. To the weather and the environment and all that kind of stuff. I think it will benefit Savannah Marshall more. Being at home and so forth. Like Clarissa has to set up camp again and all that kind of stuff. Do all that. So I think Marshall has the advantage here. So I think so because she doesn't have to move as much.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
Good points, fellas. All right, well, that's all to talk about as far as recap. Let's move on, guys, to Fight Week. And we have the DAZN pay-per-view card, guys. Let's start off with some notable undercards. First off, on the undercard, we're going to have, from Los Angeles, California, Diego Pacheco take on Enrique Collazo over 10 rounds. Bad Chaz, what's your report card on Diego Pacheco?
Diego Pacheco, he has length. He's an orthodox guy. He's kind of flat-footed, but you know what? He uses his range to his advantage. Mm-hmm. He uses his range to kind of set up his combinations. I feel like he kind of has his range, and he'll kind of try to go to the body to kind of open up guys. Seems like his corner even kind of informs him to kind of almost pick at that shoulder to kind of pull back some of his opponents
to open up the chin,
to expose the chin. Yeah, to land some of those. His power hand and stuff. So I feel like it's definitely going to be a Pacheco fight, but he has been hit before. You know what I mean? He does have some openings. He's still kind of new and
learning the craft.
Learning the craft. Yeah, pretty much.
Fantastic. Also on the undercard, guys, we have Fresno, California fighter, Mr. Marc Castro. He's taking on Kevin Montiel over 8 rounds. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, how do you see that fight? Or how do you see this prospect?
You know what? I'm big on Marc Castro. He's from the Valley, super humble kid. I just feel like he does everything right. You know what I mean? He has speed, he has power, he has technique, he has a great defense. So I mean, right now, as a prospect, I mean, I think sky's the limit for him right now. You know, as long as who is he with? He's not with Top Rank.
I'm
he's
not
with
sure. He's DAZN. Yeah, right
DAZN?
now. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so as long as somebody's watching out for his career and gives him the right fights to progress, develop, then man, he's going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
Brother Tom, have you seen any of these prospect kids?
No, looking forward to it. Are they on the undercard of the Triple G and Canelo fight?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll watching.
Watching. Okay, absolutely. All right, let's move on to the championship bouts, guys. First, the co-main event. We have Jesse Bam Rodriguez defending his WBC super flyweight title against Israel Gonzalez over 12 rounds, guys. I know you're a big Bam fan.
Huge.
Let us know why we should watch Bam.
One word, special.
Yeah.
You know, like this guy's faced everybody. He's already taken out there's 4 kings in that division. He's already taken out 2.
Right, Quadras and Song Rumvisai.
Yes. And in crazy fashion,
right.
You know, this guy has it all. You know what I mean? He's going to be scary. He's only how old is he? He's
young, man.
In his early 20s, man.
Right.
And this kid right here, and does not stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has everything, like I said, with Castro, but just on a higher level.
Oh, yeah. Different level, yeah.
So, I mean,
the footwork, the
he's
angles.
He's already has belts in 2 different divisions. You know what I mean? And honestly, like he's fighting the fights, you know, people want to see. He's going after it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A lot of fighters at that young, you know, they don't have that maturity level like he has. You know what I mean?
Well, he's already the co-main event for Triple G Canelo.
You know what? And another thing is too, we went to go see him a year ago, and he was the undercard of the undercard. You know what I mean? Mikey Garcia, and I mean he's just amazing, man. Like his bar is just,
his angles are like artwork.
Yeah.
The way he plants his feet.
He stings like a bee and flows like a butterfly. I said it opposite, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Brother Tom, you see Bam Rodriguez?
Yeah. I saw him beating my boy Rumi side last time out. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. He's special. He's special. He's a big boy for 115, so I think he'll move up soon. And I think he'll be a pretty good bantamweight fighter as well.
Right on. I agree, man. I agree. Fantastic, gentlemen. Now, well, let's move on to the main course of this card, which of course is the trilogy fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez defending his undisputed super middleweight championships of the world against none other than Triple G Gennadiy Golovkin, which Golovkin is moving up 8 pounds north to the super middleweight division. Guys, this is one that's we've been waiting for a while, and it's finally here. Brother Tom, I'm going to give you this one. How do you see this one going, brother?
I tell people all the time that style make fights, and these 2 styles, they mesh so well. They could be 100 years old and they still put on a good fight. It's just how they are, and like on top of that, there's genuine animosity between those 2.
Yes. Yep.
You know, if you saw the presser this morning, they did not like each other.
Not at all.
So I think given the animosity between the 2, we could be, for a fight of the year candidate type of fight.
Right. Nice. Right.
Both guys know that the other guy can take each other's punch, so I think they're just gonna go Mexican style on each other, both of them.
Right. Kind of a Hearns Hagler, maybe even a Thriller Manila.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I suggested. Yeah, that's what I think they'll do. And as long as Triple G has got that jab, has got that power, he's always gonna be trouble for Canelo. Always gonna be trouble for Canelo. You can never count him out.
Tom, do you think Triple G has to knock out Canelo to win?
I think he does, but given those 2, they got strong shins. If we go to a decision, only way we get stopped is if the referee interferes in, TKO or something like that. So other than that, I can't see a stoppage.
Okay.
A full knockout. So maybe a TKO or the corner and throws in the towel, because he's just got too much pride. But these guys, they got mad shins. They're not gonna just drop.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree with you.
All right, guys. Let's go with predictions. Bad Chaz, who do you got?
Ooh, that's so hard for me. I don't know. I'm wanting Triple G to win. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of giving Canelo the edge, I guess. But you know what, I'm just going to be like biting my teeth the whole time, just hoping that Triple G just does his best. I hope the old Lion still has just that one last fight in him. And I hope he can prove a lot of people wrong, because I support him. He's just a humble, down to earth guy. I like everything about him.
Same here, man. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. Who's your pick, brother?
Well, who did you pick?
Triple G.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Same, dude. I'm a huge Triple G fan. I mean, for the longest time, I can't even remember. I've always supported him. I've always told everybody, watch this guy, watch this guy. Everybody's like, who is he? Finally, when he fights Canelo, they're like kind of, aware of who he is. Yeah. But this fight, I just have to pick Canelo, man. He's just been more active, fought the top of the top. You know what I mean? I know Canelo lost, but a lot of times, losses, sometimes people like Sean Porter calls them as lessons. So I think Canelo's going to learn. Canelo's that smart, that great of a fighter to learn from what, Canelo did the first 2 fights to just, pick up the pace. So I see Canelo stopping Triple G. And hopefully the ref saves Triple G from himself, because it could get bad for Triple G. So I think Canelo will stop him.
Yeah, I agree with you, neighborhood right here, Ryan Rios. I still want Triple G to get back from that first fight, because I wholehearily thought Triple G won that first fight. But my heart's with Triple G. My head says Canelo, just because he's younger in his prime. He's gotten better. It's hard to think that Golovkin's gotten better over these 5 years. Heart Triple G, head Canelo. Canelo will probably win on a stoppage. Referee getting in there because Triple G's not firing back. One of those, on his feet kind of stoppage. Brother Tom, how do you see the trilogy, brother?
We forgot to mention that Canelo's best punch is the Mexican punch. And if you've seen his past, Golovkin, he's got a bit of a liability to the body.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a Mexican liver punch might stop Triple G, because no punch to the chin is going to stop him.
Right.
I think Canelo gets a UD. Gets a 12 round. I think it'd be like 116, 112 or something like that.
Yeah.
But here's my prediction: someone's going to get dropped. Someone's getting knocked down.
That'd be fun to see, right? Yep.
The 168 is advantageous to Golovkin. He won't have to boil down to 160 anymore, because his last fight. Who did he fight the last one? The Japanese
Murata. I want to say Murata. Was it Murata?
Yeah, he looked really dry at the weigh-in. So I'm thinking, 160 maybe a bit too hard for him now. So 168, he's gonna be okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So your pick was the Canelo unanimous decision, which is not a bad one at all, man. Awesome. Awesome. Very well, guys. Let's move on to the next segment. Let's talk about the pound for pound rankings. And we know one of the topics or one of the fights that hasn't been made is Crawford versus Spence. If that fight doesn't happen, guys, how will it affect the pound for pound rankings? Brother Tom, how do you see that, man? And why are we having trouble having that fight made?
Well, if you're the number one guy, which seems to be a lot of people who think Crawford is, and you go inactive when guys like Usyk and Inoue and they've all been fighting, they've all been keeping busy. I don't know if you should keep keeping your ranking if you haven't fought.
Perfectly said. Absolutely, I agree. 1,000%, man.
It's not fair on Usyk, who had to go from a war in Ukraine to train from a fight to beating AJ at AJ's home.
Right.
So whereas Crawford, he hasn't done much in 12 months. Like, he's been fighting once a year for the last 3-4 years now. I think with the Crawford and Spence fight, I don't know if it will happen anymore. It might be one of those great fights that won't happen.
Right. Like, I'm already getting tired of anticipating it for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And because like these 147 guys, they better watch out, because this new wave of welterweights are coming through. You got Boots, you got Virgil Ortiz, you got Conor Ben.
Right.
So many good guys coming through. They better watch out. They don't, get the
right. They're waiting too long, man. Yep. Exactly.
It took 3 months to make the first Leonard and Hearns fight.
3 months.
3 months. Leonard won the junior welterweight title from AU Pirule, 154 pounds, he goes, I want Hearns. And that was in he fought that in May or June. He was fighting Hearns back in September. So 3 months. That's it.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, it's not like it used to be, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. How do you see this topic, brother?
You know what? I agree with Tom. You know what I mean? I feel like Spence and Crawford are like holding these belts hostage, man. You know, for hungry fighters like Boots, you got hungry fighters like Virgil. You know what I mean? I just don't see how they stay on top of the pound for pound list. You know what I mean? You got people like Shakur Stevenson. You got people like Bam Rodriguez that are fighting like 2 or 3 times a year and taking titles. You know what I mean? So how can you give Spence and Crawford 1, 2, and they're not fighting anybody? And if they are, it's like in-house or it's people that aren't even sometimes ranked, like Kell Brook. So I'm so confused, and it's all politics, and there's so much things behind who gives them the rankings that it's crazy. So, I mean, in my pound for pound, I got it a little different, but it's not up to me, but that's just how I see it, guys.
Yeah. Bad Chaz?
You know what, man? I'm tired of holding my breath for this fight. It's just taking way too long. And I feel like the sport doesn't really need it to continue. There's so many guys in line at 147 pounds. And it's like, you know, these Spence, Crawford, somebody needs to shit or get off the pot, excuse my language. But you got a lot of talent in that division that's threatening. And I mean, just you know, move out of the way and let these guys do their thing if you're not going to come to a conclusion, you know what I mean? Like and I mean, that's my opinion on it, you know what I mean? So how do you see it?
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said so far. Guys, these guys, Crawford, Spence, they are each other's next best competition in fighting. Why aren't they fighting each other? That's, you know, they want to be the best. They keep saying, you know, I'm going to fry this fish over here. Let me do this first. All that's done with.
Yeah.
What's the holdup now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yet, like Brother Tom said, you want to hold your top pound for pound king status without fighting.
You got to fight the best of the best.
Right, without fighting the next best guy, which is literally in your weight class, which is literally all roads lead to that fight, and still you're not fighting it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So I agree.
The winner of that fight you could argue as, you know, number 1 pound for pound.
I agree. Exactly. We all agree.
Yeah.
But you know, they want to fight each other. Heck, even Canelo is being more active.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, just got to be active. And like Inoue is going to fight again in end of the year as well. So
exactly,
knocking the doors as someone as well. So
for undisputed, right? If I'm not mistaken, there you go. Yep. Exactly. All right, guys, quickly. So with that said, let's each of us, you know, in our own opinion, who's our top 3 pound for pound as of September 2022? Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios?
I'll still go with Crawford just because he's multiple divisions. He's undisputed, and he holds, you know, another belt.
So you're still going to hold him at 1?
I'm still going to go with Crawford.
Okay.
But, and this is way off, but I'm going to go with Shakur Stevenson at number 2.
Okay.
And then Bam Rodriguez at number 3.
That's good. That's your opinion. Awesome.
Me.
Bad Chaz?
Yeah, you know what? I would agree with you on Shakur Stevenson. But I feel like I would probably hold like Spence more above Crawford just because of his activity. Crawford just kind of sits back. He doesn't really have much activity. Probably Bam too as well. And then Canelo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my 3. I'm going to go number 1, Usyk, just because of the activity. He's, you know, the accomplishments. Number 2, Canelo. I was battling Canelo 1 or 2 between Usyk, but I'm gonna go Usyk 1, Canelo 2, and Inoue 3 for my top 3. Brother Tom, who are your top 3 right now?
He never lost it. Canelo's number 1 for me. Yeah, he never lost it. And I got Usyk as number 2, and I got Inoue as number 3. If Bud fights Spence, I might put him up number 1 again. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to, that fight, right? They cannot claim otherwise until that darn fight gets made and happens, and then the winner, like you said, gets to say, hey, I'm number 1.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, very well, guys. Yep.
Thanks.
Fantastic episode, guys. I want to send my millions of thanks to you, Brother Tom, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Your knowledge, your expertise is greatly appreciated, man. Yeah, hopefully we'll do it again soon sometime.
Yeah, till next time, brothers.
All right, brother.
Take care, Tom. Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Okay, all the best, brother. Much love.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, this concludes our episode, guys. Any shout outs or anything you guys want to tell our viewers?
Just everybody that supports us again.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Spread the word, know.
If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. You know what I mean? Click that subscribe button. And
hit that like.
Yeah.
We all appreciate you guys viewing and tuning in. I do want to shout out the crew from Danger Zone Boxing Talk. That's where I got my start, in journalism, writing articles there. Brother Fred, Brother Brandon, Brother Tom. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, keep up the great work over there. All right, guys. So with that said, I am Coach D. This is neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, Bad Chaz, and we're out, guys.